Oh, hey mathematicians, it's Justin again. Mia and I just arrived at a brand new gallery in the Mia Villa Art Museum, and we've run into a bit of a puzzle. The paintings are here, and the frames are here, but something's off. The paintings need to be matched with their correct frames by finding the ones with matching perimeters or areas. By the end of today's lesson, you'll be able to use the right operation to find the perimeter or area of a shape. You'll also be able to use the perimeter or area of a rectangle to find a missing side length. Have your guided notes ready? Because it's time to find the perfect fit. When we talk about the perimeter of a shape, we're measuring the total length of the outline of the shape. This rectangle is 6 inches wide and 4 inches tall, so how could we find the perimeter? We can add all the sides. 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 equals 20 inches. Now, if perimeter measures the outside, what does area measure? Area is the amount of space the surface takes up, or the inside of the shape. Since each unit is made up of a 1 inch by 1 inch square, we could think of the rectangle as being filled with rows and columns of those square inches. It's like an array, so we can multiply the length times the width, 6 times 4. That gives us an area of 24 square inches, because 24 of those little 1 inch by 1 inch squares fill the inside of the rectangle. We abbreviate a square unit by writing a small 2 above the unit to show that we multiplied two measurements together. Now it's your turn to try. Here's a new rectangle. It's 5 inches long and 3 inches wide. Pause here to find both the perimeter and the area. Be sure to include the correct units in your answers. To find the perimeter, we add all the sides to equal a perimeter of 16 inches. And for the area, we multiply 5 times 3, which equals 15 square inches. Nice job. But what about finding the perimeter of shapes that aren't rectangles? Like here's a hexagon with side lengths that are all 12 centimeters. Is there a different way to find the perimeter besides using repeated addition? Pause here to find the perimeter of this regular hexagon. Since all the sides measure 12 centimeters, adding 12 6 times is the same as multiplying 12 times 6. Using multiplication is just a quicker way to find the perimeter when all the side lengths are the same. So we get a perimeter of 72 centimeters. And this strategy works for any regular polygon with equal sides. But sometimes we're only told the perimeter or area and some of the side measurements, and we have to work backward to figure out missing side lengths, like this rectangle. Its perimeter is 30 inches, and the length is labeled as 8 inches. And we know the opposite side must also be 8 inches, which makes for a perimeter of 16 inches so far, but the measurements for the other pair of sides are missing. Try using the total perimeter and these known lengths to see if you can figure out the missing widths. We'll check it out together when you're done. Pause here to solve for the missing side. We can subtract the perimeter we already know, 16 inches, from the total perimeter, 30 inches, which leaves 14 inches for these two remaining sides. But they can't both be 14. Since there are two sides left, we'll need to split those 14 inches equally. 14 divided by 2 equals 7, so the width is 7 inches. This square has an area of 100 square centimeters, but none of the side lengths are labeled. Since a square is a type of rectangle, we can still find the area by multiplying the length times the width. And because all the sides of a square are equal, the length and width must be the same. Pause the video here to find the missing side lengths in your guided notes. Since the length and width are the same, we need to figure out what number times itself equals 100. 10 times 10 equals 100, so each side length of the square is 10 centimeters. What if we want to find the area of a shape like this one? This kind of shape is called a composite shape. It's made by combining simpler shapes that we know how to find the area of. Where could we draw a line to separate this shape into two rectangles? We can draw a vertical line here. Now we have two rectangles, one that measures 10 inches by 6 inches and another that measures 7 inches by 5 inches. Then we can find the area of each rectangle individually and combine them to find the total area of the shape. Pause here to solve and record the total area of the composite shape in your guided notes. 10 times 6 equals 60 square inches, and 7 times 5 equals 35 square inches. Adding the areas of the two rectangles gives us 95 square inches. That's the total amount of space, or area, the entire composite shape covers. You might have noticed that we could have split our composite shape horizontally instead. Some sides might not be labeled, but we can use what we know about opposite sides and total lengths to help us. The total vertical length here is 10 inches, and this smaller vertical section is 5 inches. So we can subtract 10 minus 5 for this missing length. So our top rectangle is 6 inches by 5 inches and has an area of 30 square inches. And to find the length of this bottom rectangle, we can add the two partial lengths of 6 inches and 7 inches. That's 13, so the bottom rectangle measures 13 inches by 5 inches with an area of 65 square inches. The total area, 30 plus 65, equals 95 square inches. Even though we split the composite shape differently this time, we still found the same total area. Now that we've sharpened our skills with perimeter and area, it's time to get to work on the gallery. Use what you've learned about perimeter, area, and missing side lengths to match each painting to the correct frame. Use the given measurements and information to find the best fit. Pause here to record your thinking. What was the perimeter of the top painting? 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7 equals 32 inches. So it matches with the frame on the right. This square painting has an area of 36 square inches because 6 times 6 equals 36. And to find the perimeter, we can multiply 6 times 4 because there are 4 equal side lengths, and that gives us a perimeter of 24 inches. That matches the frame on the left. And when we add the sides of this bottom painting, 9 plus 9 plus 4 plus 4 equals 26. That's the perimeter of the middle frame. And 9 times 4 equals 36, which matches the area of the frame too. So, what have we learned today, besides the fact that painters should really label their frames ahead of time? Well, now you know that perimeter measures the outline of a shape and can be found with addition or multiplication. Area measures the amount of space inside an object, and the area of a rectangle can be found by multiplying the length and the width. And you know how to work backward using area or perimeter to find a missing side length. Be sure to complete the practice questions and extension activities that go with this lesson to practice working with perimeter and area. And remember, mathematicians, in math, as in life, every effort adds to your success. I'll see you next time.